loves, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. If you hear the rain, like the weather is like ridiculously bad here in Atlanta. I don't know what's going on, but it's just been raining really bad. But today I want to talk about the crazy story of what happened with Jussie. If I say his name wrong, like I apologize. I believe it's Jussie and not Jesse. So I want to just go ahead and do the timeline because this is my first time discussing it, and if anybody need a refresher, I just want to go through the timeline first and then give my opinion. So January 29th, Smollett, who is a black and openly gay man, tells police that at about 2 a.m. two masked men he believed to be white attacked him downtown Chicago.
I had checking a Bear report. The system has it as Lower Northwater, but the address is don't have a last name on the cell phone regarding a friend that was assaulted and battered when he walked out of his apartment. He's supposed to be well-known requesting a report. Instead, the noose was placed over the friend's neck. EMS has refused and said the apartment's next to the Lowe's Hotel. But once again, just be advised, that address in the system is at Lower Water, but it's at the apartment.
The assailants, according to Smollett, hurled homophobic and racial slurs at him and put a rope around his neck and poured a chemical substance on him. January 30th, investigators announced the first tangible process and progression in the case. Surveillance image shows two people, and those are potential persons of interest, and they wanted to question in connection of the case. On January 31st, Mr. Trump is asked about the incident in the Oval Office.
That I can tell you is horrible. I've seen it last night. I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse.
Then his family decided to release a statement. His family says Jussie was a victim of a violent and unprovoked attack. We want to be clear, this was a racial and homophobic hate crime. Jussie has told the police everything from the very beginning. His story has never changed, and we are hopeful they will find these men and bring them to justice. February 1st, Smollett releases his first public statement through his publicist, and it stated, "Let me start by saying that I'm okay. My body is strong, but my soul is stronger. More importantly, I want to say thank you. The outpouring of love and support from my village has meant more than I will ever be able to truly put into words. I am working with authorities and have been 100% factual and consistent on every level. Despite my frustration and deep concern with certain misrepresentations that have been spreaded, I still believe that justice will be served." On February 2nd, Jussie appears in the public for the first time since his attack, and he performed at a concert in West Hollywood.
I was bruised, but my ribs were not cracked. They were not broken. I went to the doctor immediately. Frank Gatson drove me. I was not hospitalized. Both my doctors in LA and Chicago cleared me to perform. And above all, I fought the fuck back. I'm the gay Tupac.
Fast forward to February 11th. The department reacts to phone records that Smollett turned over to the investigators.
Jussie Smollett, who voluntarily just handed over phone records to police from the night in question. But Chicago police say they were limited and heavily redacted, so much so they wouldn't even be admissible as evidence in court. Smollett's PR team says the redactions were an effort to protect the privacy of personal contacts or high-profile individuals.
February 13th, two brothers of the Nigerian descent are detained by authorities after landing in Chicago on a flight from Nigeria. Police raided their home and, according to CBS Chicago, removed items including an Empire script and 2 hats. February 14th, Smollett gives his first interview about the incident to Good Morning America.
If I had said it was a Muslim or Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot much more.
The Chicago police then that same day, later on that day, the Chicago police revealed publicly that at least one of the men that were detained appeared as an extra on Empire. The department also says that they are not yet suspect. They're really baffled why they would be any people of interest interest. They really don't understand how they even got information that linked them into this horrific crime, but they are not guilty of it. They know the evidence is going to prove them innocent. February 15th, y'all, this is a long case, and I'm sorry, I just have to go through all of it just so I can give my opinion, because I feel like people just saying whatever. I just want to give what the facts say out there, and then I'm gonna tell how I feel. February 15th, in a whirlwind day, the detained brothers are identified as potential suspects by the police, but that night they were released without being charged. Investigators announced that they are no longer considered suspects, but do not say why. February 16th, the police say they are seeking to speak to Smollett again. Media outlets, including CNN, report that the two men have told investigators that they were paid to participate in this.
They're now cooperating with police. A source close to the investigation confirms to CBS News the brothers told detectives Smollett paid them to participate in the alleged attack on January 29th, and that they purchased the rope found around Smollett's neck at a nearby hardware store. The source says detectives have evidence to corroborate the sale, something the men's attorney alluded to Friday night.
New evidence that was brought to their attention. Obviously, I had it. Obviously, my clients had it.
Okay, so after saying all that, y'all already know that Lil Trump done came out and said something. Everybody done had their opinions, like things of that sort. I can say when the incident first happened, I totally believed him, because I'm just like, it's 2019. It wasn't that far-fetched. But once you start reading the story, it did sound a little drastic. It did sound like a little, like, what? Like, what in the world? You know, like, it's cold outside. Like, how would somebody even be able to pick you out and say, you know, Mr. Empire and all this other stuff? Like, a lot of the details, I feel like he came out with too many details in which it made it start to seem like a lie. Like, he was very detailed when he did his interview and when he was on stage. Like, he was being so descriptive, and it was just like, if you know every single detail to this person, then you have to know who your attackers are, or you have to know what exactly did they look like, because you cannot get a white man mixed up with a whole black man like that, especially them and how big and hefty they were. You know what I'm saying? So in my personal opinion, you know, do I believe that he lied? I do believe that this was something that was made up. I do not believe that this is something that actually happened. But then again, you know, I don't know, because I believe that Chicago police can lie. Just like this situation, I just feel like it's so much, and I didn't really want to make a video, because it was just like, it was so hard to tell what the truth was. Like, we really do not know. It's all this evidence against him right now at this very moment, but it's just like, why? I think everybody's question is, why would you do this? Like, what was the point of this? What was the purpose? Like, why? Why exactly are you trying to prove something? And to be completely honest, I don't think this is something that he did by himself. And it's so crazy that all those people that were behind him, that were saying, you know, I spoke with Jussie and like, I'm praying for him and I want you all to pray for him and all this other stuff. Where are those people now that this whole new story came out? Like, I really feel like this is not something that he did by himself. This couldn't have been orchestrated by himself. I believe it was people behind him trying to push something, trying to push your agenda. But the only thing that makes me upset is that I feel like it gave people ammunition. I don't think it was a setback, because this happens every day. Like, we have race wars, and we have racial things that happen all the time. So I don't think this was a setback. I keep seeing YouTubers say, oh, this is a setback for da da da. I don't think that at all, because it happens. But I do honestly think it gave people ammunition to not believe him anymore, because he was very political, he was very open, and he spoke against, you know, Trump administration. He spoke against, you know, things that he believed in, and it just made, honestly, it made people side-eye him a little bit more, because if you look at his Twitter thread and you look at some of the things that he's been talking about, and then you hear about this incident, it's kind of like, was this a whole, like, a little setup? you know, what really happened. And I feel like if it's not real, if it's not true, and if all this is a alleged lie, I really believe he needs to stop now and just come out and tell the truth and tell the real deal and tell everybody else that was a part of it. Because now you have the two men that we all know now that is your trainer, that has been, you know, on Empire with you, worked with Lee Daniels. Now we have them saying that you paid them to do this. It's like he say, she say, the truth, the police saying what God says. It's like, it's just so crazy. So I just want the truth to be out there because this story is just ridiculous. Like, it's just all over the place. And I feel like, to be honest, this is just my personal opinion. If he was to come out and say that this was made up and this was false and stuff like that, I do think he will probably be shunned. He will probably have to like regroup himself, leave social media for a while. I don't think, you know, today I found out he was written off of the Empire show. I don't think he will be able to come from this at this time, because how can we support someone that made something so drastic up, and you made the people, like you made us feel so bad by something that happens every day in this world by somebody. There's so many people that go through things like this. You just had a little boy arrested for not standing up to the Pledge of Allegiance, and his teacher telling him he need to go back to his homeland. Like, you have things that happen like this on a day-to-day basis where someone is saying something that is racially offensive to someone, and we're sitting here crying and giving you our best wishes and praying for you because you're a celebrity and you have more attention from people. Like, we feel more of a connection to you because you're popular and you're famous. So it's a slap in the face to people that things like this actually happen to if you're allegedly lying. So, you know, I'm waiting for the Lee Daniels. I'm waiting for his family and all these people that came out and said stuff, because I'm like, who knew? Somebody had to know. This is not something that he came out with on his own. They need to be questioning his manager. They need to be questioning all these people that he have talked to or has came out within the first hour or 2 hours when this case initially came about. Because it's been a couple of weeks, like it's been 3 weeks. And everything is unfolding. But I'm trying to tell you, the truth need to be out. The truth need to come out. It's to the point that he done disabled all his comments. Like, something in this case is just not right. Something is not right. And I don't want to say that I don't believe him 100%, but the story just does not make sense at this point at all. Like, period. You guys let me know how y'all feel. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts and y'all opinions. Like, are y'all on the fence? Like, what's really going on? What's really good? Love you guys. Thanks. Bye.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight. Hey, this drink got me feeling right.